What's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be talking about an interesting announcement that Wizard101 made a couple days ago regarding the new world of WALLARU. As you guys already know, WALLARU has been out on test realm for the past 2 weeks, and they just recently took down the spoiler wall, which means that you are now able to quest all of WALLARU on test realm, including the final boss. The same day that the spoiler wall was taken down, Kyle, one of the Wizard101 community managers, announced that they wanted to improve the experience of hunting for gear in the new world. And he states that rather than dropping from the last boss of the world, the level 170 hats, robes, boots, and wands will instead be dropped from a specialized dungeon called the Nightmare. And that, unfortunately, because of the new mechanics that they have been working on for this new final dungeon, it needs more time in development, which means that when WALLARU hits live realm, we will not have a way to get those certain pieces of the final gear set, but instead we're going to have to wait for the new dungeon to launch early next year, they said. To add to this, Cam, another KI employee, announced on his stream that the Nightmare is a return of classic dungeons per se. So dungeons like Labyrinth and stuff that King's Isle stopped doing after a while. So it will have puzzles and it'll have fights and stuff, but it'll have like a challenge one, which is going to be closer to a mini raid for 4 people, and it will have a standard mode too. This honestly sounds really interesting, and as unfortunate as it is that we're not going to get certain final gear set drops, I'm honestly really excited to see what this new dungeon is going to look like, and I'm even more excited to see what they mean by mini raid. I believe Stormcloud also asked Kyle the question of whether or not the dungeon is going to be main quest or side quest, and Kyle did confirm that the new dungeon is going to be a side quest, which makes sense, and I'm really excited to see it. And I just want to say right off the bat that although it's annoying that we are not going to be able to get certain gear pieces, I'm definitely not upset with the devs or anything like that, and I definitely understand that these things take time, and I would definitely rather wait a little while to have a perfected dungeon rather than them rush to get something out and it really not be ready yet. So I definitely do have to applaud them and at least be thankful that they are being transparent with us and that they are working their hardest to give us something new to the game, which we have all been asking for a while now. So it's really nice to see that they are adding new ways to acquire gear. And also, I just want to say that they did mention that the deck, the ring, amulets are still going to be obtainable sooner rather than later, and they're saying that those are either going to come out in the next test realm patch or at the launch of WALLARU on live realm. So we will still be able to get some of the gear, just not all of it. But still, the really important gear we are going to want, we are not going to be able to get, unfortunately. So I know a big question that a lot of the community was asking was, what about the raid gear? Obviously, the raid gear is currently set at 160, but with the new world and having 170 gear, they are obviously going to upgrade the gear to level 170, just like they did when Novus was released and they had to upgrade the previous raid gear from 150 to 160. So a lot of people had the concern of, well, this is just going to be an unfair advantage for the people who are able to raid, because they're going to have 170 gear right off the bat, but the people who can't raid are going to have to wait a couple of months for the WALLARU gear to finally be released. Well, Cam also addressed this on his stream, thankfully, and he stated that the Azteca raid accessories will come out with WALLARU, such as the Athame and amulet, but the hat, robe, boots, and wands will come out with the Nightmare dungeon, just so it's consistent. So essentially, if you have the raid gear and you are planning to upgrade it, you're going to have to wait until the WALLARU dungeon is released in order to keep it fair for everyone. Which, okay, so be it. It's kind of annoying, but I do appreciate them for trying to keep things fair for everyone. Now, another thing I do want to mention that I've seen it being talked about with this no drop situation being announced is that people are really concerned about what's going to happen to advanced combat. As you guys may know, advanced combat has a stat cap put on it. So for example, if you do PvP or if you do raids, you will not have your full stats, but instead they are lowered and they put a cap on them so that things aren't incredibly overpowered. Now, the reason that this is concerning is that the stat caps will go up as you hit level 170, but if you hit level 170 without the gear, it will become harder to hit those stat caps. And then in turn, the level 160 gear will not give you as good of stats, and you will scale down and have worse stats because of it, which, long story short, means that there is absolutely no room to have unoptimized stats. And it's already really hard to have perfect stats in raids and PvP to begin with, but I can already see this change making it even harder to achieve perfect stats, especially now with there being no wiggle room. You really have to get your stats perfect, or else you're definitely going to struggle. So I know some people were talking about level locking to kind of get around this, so you could quest all of WALLARU but still be at level 160 so that your stat caps will stay the same in advanced combat. And I don't know, I feel like that's just really annoying to have to do, especially because there is a new world and you are excited to hit level 170, but now it's not really ideal to do. I guess this is a cool way to test out the new level locking feature if you haven't already, but I don't know, I feel like this is going to make a lot of people's lives a lot harder, especially if you do PvP and raids. So I really hope that they find a way to either address this or make it so that level caps aren't so heavily affected if you level up to level 170. I'm not really too sure what the best plan of action is, but I definitely know that this will be annoying to some people. But yeah guys, that's really going to be it for today's video. What do you guys think about the gear drops, or well, lack thereof in WALLARU? I'm personally hella excited to see a new dungeon being added that's like old school Wiz, and I'm also really excited to see what cool features they add to it. But I'm also kind of disappointed in the fact that we aren't going to be able to farm for gear. I definitely think that gear farming is a big piece of the new world, so it's kind of sad, but I do appreciate them being transparent and letting us know what's going on, so I can't be too mad about it. But yeah guys, that's really going to be it for me today. Leave a comment down below with what your thoughts are on the whole WALLARU drop situation, and as always, if you did enjoy today's video, please make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button before you go. And as always, if you want to chill and hang out with me, make sure to join my Discord server. I will have it linked down below, and I would love to see you guys over there. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!